Obviously, we didn't really play that great. When you go back and watch the tape, we didn't play that great. However, we played just good enough, and that's all that matters right now. Defensively, I thought we played really, really well. We got created 3 turnovers again, plus had to turnover on punt. If we continue to do that, then we've got a chance. And then offensively, like I said, after the game, we just showed a lot of resiliency. First half played about as bad as we've ever played, and then second half put up, 31 points. And putting 31 points in a half of football is hard to do versus anybody. That's hard to do versus air. So very proud of the way we finished off the game. And, obviously that gives us a great boost moving forward into this week coming up with the opponent that we have.
Has there been a point in the season, any kind of
I think it's directly related to our turnover margin, to be perfectly honest with you. If you look at where we started the season and where we started in turnover margin, we were bottom of the conference. We were really, really bad. And we started creating some turnovers on defense, and we started being a little bit more stingy with the ball on offense. I think right now we're sitting at like 3rd in the conference in turnover margin. So that's the reason why it's the first of our 5 truths to winning a football game, because I truly believe that if you can take the ball away and you can protect it on offense, then you can win a lot of ball games, and I think that's what's giving us a chance right now.
Talk about the character and the kids who've shown to bounce back the way that they have, not just from the poor start to the season, but in most of these games that you've won, you've been down and had to come back.
Yeah, I think I think it's just a great testament to those guys. I think it's a great testament to the coaching staff and their ability to motivate some of these kids at halftime. And I made a joke the other day. Maybe we should just start off every game from the get-go, spotting 20 points and see how we do, because we seem like we play better when we get down by 20. Maybe that's what finally wakes us up. I don't know, but I've said from the get-go, even when it wasn't going that great, that I really love these kids. I really love the personality that this team has. It's a very roughneck group. We don't look like much sometimes. I watch our kids run. Troy Quinn, bless his heart, I was watching him run off the field the other day, and he had his brand new pair of goggles on inside of his helmet, and sometimes when he lined up against their offensive front, because they were pretty big, their offensive front was pretty big, and it looked like they were going to engulf him. And I made a comment on the headset. I said, "Man, we look like the Bad News Bears." But he was out there, and he was terrorizing them. Had a great game, and it's just a fun bunch, they've done a good job of listening to the staff and listening to our message about staying focused on the work, staying focused on the task at hand, and not really concerning ourselves with the big picture and how the season's going as a whole, just kind of focusing on the day-to-day process.
It sounds like the coaches and players are really close-knit.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, I think that's really, really important, I think that discipline without relationships creates dissension, and it's one thing just to sit and yell at a group of people all the time. A lot of times they're not going to listen to you if they don't think you're doing it because you care for them and you love them. And I hope for the most part that our players know that when we get mad or we yell or we say, hey, you've got to be here and not here, or we punish them for not going to class or whatever the case may be, that in the end we're doing it because we love them. It's kind of like your dad when he used to spank you and he'd say, hey, I'm doing this because I love you. This hurts me more than it hurts you, and that type thing. And it's very, very, very close group. I'm having a lot of fun with these guys. Same thing. We're going to be 1-0 right now. We're trying to win Monday. We got some weights going on. We've got some academic meetings. Kids are doing some voluntary lifting just to try to get the junk out of their system. And we'll do some academics today, and it's big coaches day, prep day. And then tomorrow we'll worry about Tuesday. And next day we'll worry about Wednesday. We're not focused on who we're playing and what they're ranked or anything like that. We're just focused on the work in hand, and we'll go out Saturday and we'll put our best plan together, and And we won't look up at the scoreboard until the very end, and we'll see how it goes.
You talked about seeing film on Jacksonville State defensively, and they're top ranked in FCS defensively. What jumped out at you?
Everything. I asked the staff one time. Yesterday we were watching them formationally, and I said, "Hey, who's done the best against them? Let's see their game plan. Let's just see who's done the best." And one of my GAs, he said LSU did the best and Coastal Carolina did the best. I said, okay. I said, how did Coastal Carolina do? He said they had 321 total yards. I was like, ooh. I said, okay. I said, just how bad did LSU get on them? Coach, they had 341 yards. And I went, oh my goodness. They're very, very good. They're offensively. They've got that quarterback who's as electric as they come. They've got a slew of backs they can bring downhill on you. They got an offensive line that'll lean on you a little bit. They've got the Barge kid who can I saw him make a one-handed grab versus it was either Semo or Austin P. I forget who it was. That was incredible. A lot like Blackburn's one-handed grab that he had this past week. Defensively, in the back end, they just get up in your face and they press you, and they're athletic enough to do it for quite a while. They can get after you a little bit in the back end. Very good tacklers. Their front four are as good as we faced. You put Illinois in that pile too. They're as good as we faced. They've got a really good scheme. You'll see their two DNs. They line up probably sometimes 6 to 7 yards wider than your tackle, and they just get a 7-yard head start at your quarterback, and they force you to step up into the meat of their defense, which is their two defensive tackles who are very active. And then they've got a really good crew of linebackers. So other than that, they're not very good. Other than all those things, they're not very good. But they're as good a team as I've seen on film.
How special is it? You've seen a lot of guys come through here.
Yep.
How special is it to know that, barring some sort of catastrophe on Saturday, KD can become a 10,000-yard passer here at home under your offense?
I'm just, obviously, I'm just tickled that he's had the career that he's had. Not the statistical leader and all that kind of stuff, but just the growth that he's had. Seeing him from when he was a freshman, he was weak as pond water and didn't know a whole lot, and had good arm talent, but was very, very green. And to see his growth and his maturity and he's great in the community. He was man of the year for one of the sororities here on campus. The professors really like him. My wife loves him to death. My kids love him to death. Our players love him to death. He's just, the way that he's kind of taken this university, and he takes a lot of pride in this university and wearing the logo on his shirt. And he's just a great ambassador for Murray State. He's a great ambassador for the game of football, and just a tremendous young man. And then when you top all of that off with the success that he's had, and obviously it makes me very proud to have been a part of his career here, and watch him grow in it, and things like that. So and he's still got a lot of work to do. These next 2 weeks be a lot of fun. Watching him go through the processes these next 2 weeks.
What's Katie had going through the maturation processes? Is it a mental standpoint, or just what has he had to do to become the player he is?
He's had to put up with me. Those quarterbacks, make no mistake about it. That's not a like a silver spoon position there. That's the grunt work. That's the one who's going to get the most of the yellings and all of those type things. And even when it's not your fault, and being a young quarterback going through the practices of me yelling and him looking at me going, "Why are you yelling at me? I have nothing to do with that." And me looking at him going, "I know you don't have anything to do with it, but I'm going to yell at you so that everybody can hear me yell at you." And just handling that, handling some adversities. This year was a great I mean, it was a great example of that. You know, the first of the season, he gets his shoulder all busted up. He's not playing very good. He's turning the ball over, and to see him turn that around, I think that shows some of the maturity, and just shows his development as a player and as a person.